And I've got with me tonight Carl Eklund.
Thanks, Brian. My name is Carl Eklund, and we're going to be going through portal tour prospecting tonight. First of all, I want to thank you for having me here tonight. I really appreciate it. I'm honored to be asked to do this. A little background on myself before we get started. I'm not an internet guru. I'm not an internet marketer. I used to own a traditional business. My wife and I own two traditional businesses. We were introduced to Market America about 4 years ago and just fell in love with the marketing concept. But the reason I share that with you is we did not have a background in internet marketing, if you will. But we knew the future of everything was going online. So the reason I tell you that is sometimes I think people think that I'm some internet guru, Brian, and I want to make sure that people understand that what we're about to teach tonight is something everybody can do. It's designed for the average distributor to be able to do. So
great. Well, then, if you don't have an internet background, how did you come up with the whole concept of a portal tour prospecting?
That's an interesting question. Portal tour prospecting was really born out of necessity. Necessity is usually the mother of invention.
Mm-hmm.
And what my wife and I had seen years back was we kept hearing about portal tour, and the portal was going to be the future of the company. But we didn't know how to integrate that into our business. So what we started doing was, before our home business presentations, we would do a slight portal tour, and we kind of created our own.
Mm-hmm.
And what we saw was the excitement in the room went through the ceiling, and everyone got excited about the internet shopping and that sort of thing. And then we started doing it more and more. And what I realized, Brian, was if you're going to do anything in this business, it has to be duplicatable.
Absolutely.
Because if it's not duplicatable, you don't want to do it. So we decided to create a duplicatable system and keep it simple, because what I want to talk about tonight is why this is so basic. This is not designed like some portal tours. I mean, there's a lot of people out there doing portal tours today, and many of you on this live stream tonight have seen portal tours. There's many great portal tours. I mean, Jim Winkler does a great one in his recorded webinar. But what those portal tours are designed to do is get customers. And I don't want to get anyone to get the wrong idea. It's not that I don't like customers. I like customers. Mm-hmm. But what I love is business partners. Right. So this portal tour was designed with one thing and one thing only in mind, and that was to get the potential partner that I'm sitting with to ask me what I call the $1 million question. Wow. And we're going to get into that as we go into it. So again, I want to make sure that everyone understands the reason I say this is it's not that we don't like customers, we do. But given the choice between 50 customers or 50 new business partners, which would you choose?
50 business partners.
Exactly.
Of course.
Because if you understand how the business model works, 50 new business partners, if they followed the proven system, would go out and get 10 to 15 customers, and you now have got 500 to 750 new customers, with 50 of them being business partners who have a vested interest in becoming your best customers.
Right.
So that's kind of where this all came from.
Okay. Well, that's great. Now, before we actually get into the tour, some people might wonder, is there any trick or tip to even booking someone to come to a tour?
That's a great question. And really the whole idea here is to keep it simple for anyone to be able to book appointments. And the idea behind this portal tour was kind of using what I think is the easiest, most powerful recruiting tool we have, which was sometimes not thought of because people thought of the internet shop.com as more the shopping aspect of the business. Mm-hmm. And what I saw it as is a huge recruiting, prospecting tool. And that's, so when you say that, we actually came up with some booking scripts, and I see you have one here that I came up with. And the idea was to be able to introduce this to anyone. Whether it's someone you met tonight, as I showed you tonight, we met a gentleman, we went out for dinner earlier, and we were able to book an appointment with him to show him the internet marketing portal, because it was that simple. But we have these booking scripts available, and they're very simple. And it can even be, you can even book an appointment with someone that you may have tried to get to look at the business opportunity of Market America that wasn't interested, and you can go back to them now and say, look, I know you weren't interested in seeing the business opportunity for whatever reason, but what I'd like to do is I have to assume you're not opposed to saving money. So let's get together for 10 or 15 minutes. I'm going to show you how to use my shop.com site. It's a fabulous tool. It's free. And I can show you how to save a fortune on everything from airfare to hotels to any other shopping you're going to do at any number of stores like Best Buy, Target, Walmart. And it's literally that simple.
Right, right. And just for anybody watching, Just to let you know, we will, Carl's agreed to make this script available. We'll have it on unfranchisedtraining.com within the next couple of days.
Sure, and so why don't we dive into how we go about doing a successful portal. So we booked the appointment, and there's many ways to do it. Tonight it was a perfect example. We met a young gentleman. He was waiting on us at dinner, and we just looked at him, and I happened to say, geez, you know, he was a college student, and it was as simple as saying, geez, you've got a great personality. You'd be great in our business. And the first thing he said is, well, what do you do? Mm-hmm. And we said, we own a string of internet franchises. We're expanding in the area, and we're looking for some people to help us with the expansion. Do you keep your business options open? If you ask if you keep your business options open, that's a great phrase to use. Almost 99% will say yes. Yep. And he just said, sure. And we said, write down your information. We'll call you tomorrow, book an appointment to get together. Right. It's literally that simple. So let's say we've booked that appointment. Right. So now we're going to sit down and we're going to get into the portal tour. So how do we start the portal tour? Well, usually I like to do it, and I'll be honest, at a Panera Bread or a Starbucks. I prefer Panera, and there's a reason. Many people in my organization have seen me do these. I like Panera Bread for a reason, Brian, and it's because it's sitting at a Panera Bread, first of all, there's a lot of other people around sometimes, but it's not quite as noisy as a Starbucks. Okay. And while I'm doing the portal tour, I have a tendency to speak loud, and other people will overhear what we're doing. And a lot of times they'll ask, what is that? And we'll say, pull up a chair. Sure. So that's the reason I like Panera. Okay. Right? So we'll usually sit down, and before I even flip open the computer, I will get to know them a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I'll ask some questions, get some background, because that will help you know where to guide your portal tour as you're going through with things that might interest this individual. Right. So then, before I open up my computer, there's a very important step you have to take. What's that? And I think this is one that people are missing. Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah. And I know you asked me earlier why I had this out. This is the reason. Okay. Before we do the portal tour, I will pull up on my computer and say, while I get my internet hooked up here, would you just take a second and fill out this survey for me? And I'll pull out a home shopping list. This is a crucial step in your portal tour, and I think a lot of people aren't using these home shopping lists. This is probably one of the most powerful tools we have. Right. So I'll hand that to them, and I'll have them fill that home shopping list out while I'm setting up or connecting to the internet or whatever it is. And when I explain to them why I'm having them do it, I'll say, we are actually an internet marketing and product brokerage company, and we track consumer spending. So would you mind taking 30 seconds while I connect to the internet and just check off all the things you use around your household? Very simple. They don't know why they're doing it other than to do me a favor. They check off the things. I quickly add it up and circle the number at the bottom, and I take it back from them, and I just set it aside. Right. Okay? I don't want them looking at it while we're going through the portal, but that's going to come back in the end to be a very powerful tool when we get into the product brokerage thing. So I want to make sure that I stress that this is where we're really headed with this, because we are ultimately a product brokerage company with our products. So now we've got that out of the way. Okay. They've already filled that out, and we're ready to go. All right. We now pull open the site, and we pull up the shop.com site. Right. Before I start with the shop.com portal tour, and again, I want everyone to understand, we really keep this simple, and I try and focus on just 5 key features. Okay. And the reason is I have watched people do portal tours, and some of them are great, but they can get into 45 minutes. And what they're trying to do is show all the bells and whistles of shop.com. And what I realized was it was absolutely counterproductive to what we were trying to do. Because first of all, even if I was trying to get them as a customer, that is just too much information. Right. They're on overload. They're not going to remember any of it. And it's counterproductive to what we're trying to do here. Because what we're trying to do is get them to ask us that million-dollar question. Right. You got it. Right. So we're going to keep it simple and just focus on 5 key features. Okay. But before I even get into that, another crucial step is explaining where some of the money comes from. Right. And the reason I do this is I always want to explain advertising. Because, Brian, you know, people are funny sometimes. They don't want to think that you're making money off of them. Right. Because it's a subconscious thing. It turns them off. So it's important to take this step. And I think as you start talking about the business, people need to understand where all this money is generated. Mm-hmm. So what I'll usually say is I'll look at them briefly and I'll say, a lot of people know there's a lot of money being made online, but they don't really understand where. Right. So I say, let's take a second to talk about it. And I'll say, where do you get your, what do you use for your email service? Yahoo. Okay. And I'm glad you use Yahoo. So do I. Many people use Gmail, AOL, Hotmail. It doesn't matter what they say. It's all the same. You can choose. If you use Gmail, you could have Gmail set up. And you'll notice on my site I have a little back tab set up and I have Yahoo set up. So I can just quickly click on it. I'll say, great, you use Yahoo, so do I. If you had said Gmail or AOL or Hotmail, I would have said, okay, but I use Yahoo, but they're similar services, you understand, and they would do exactly what you just did. They'd say yes, because everyone's familiar. And I'll say, so you set this free service as your home page. You mainly go here to get your mail or check out the news of the day. And you may go here several times a day, right?
Yeah.
And I'll say at the end of the month, Yahoo mails you a check, correct?
No. I wish they did.
That's almost what they say
Yeah.
every time. And there's a reason I say that. They first of all, they kind of laugh, but they're also psychologically, they're paying attention now thinking, wait a minute, should I be getting a check here?
Yeah.
So I've got their attention. And I'll say, no, they don't mail you a check, but they should. Because this is a great example, Yahoo here. I'll say every time you go here, and most of the time it's just up here to check your mail, you'll look here, maybe read the news, look what's sitting right here.
Yeah.
Advertising.
Big Honda
A
ad.
big Honda advertisement. And in this case, Yahoo can tell Honda exactly how many millions of people are looking at that ad every second during the day. Now I explain this to the person, and they do exactly what you just did. They start nodding. It's important to understand this. There's a psychological reason to everything I say. They're now agreeing with me and saying, yeah, they're thinking, yeah, I should be getting the money. And I'll say all of them do it. AOL, Hotmail, Facebook. This is where they generate hundreds of millions, billions of dollars in advertising. And then I step back and say, and the reason all these stores like Lowe's and Home Depot and Target are all going to internet advertising is because the advertising of the past, the way advertising has been done traditionally for the past 50 years mainly, was television advertising.
Right.
But with about 2 to 3 years ago, a little thing called TiVo or DVR went mainstream. Everyone's working 2 jobs these days. They record all their favorite shows. They come home late at night, and what do they do to the commercials?
Yeah.
They do exactly what you just did too, Brian. See, that's perfect. You did. When I'm sit with the people, that is what they do. It's important to understand this, and I word it just like that. I'll say, so they come home late at night, and what do they do to the commercials? And the person I'm sitting with goes like this. You have to understand, not only are they agreeing with me, but now they're participating in my presentation.
Right.
Now they're not only agreeing, but they're saying I'm right. That's the way to do it. And it's their idea that this is the way it works, not my idea. So psychologically, they're paying attention now, and they're involved in the presentation. You understand how important this is as we go forward. And that's really what it says. What I do now is I'll say, we do the same thing at shop.com. We offer this free service, and it's a shopping service. And basically what we are is a huge affiliate marketing program. And under this umbrella of shop.com, we have thousands of stores like Best Buy, Target, Walmart, Dell, Apple, HP, Adidas, Nike, Dick's Sporting Goods. You can list whatever you're comfortable with, Disney, JCPenney's, whatever you think they might relate to, Cabell, whatever it might be. And I'll say, but the difference here is we allow our customers to use this service for free, but we do pay them. And I point to the top here, and I'll have myself signed in or my wife in this case. And I'll show them the cash back where they can sign in for free, and I'll explain how we'll pay them up to 50% cash back for their purchases. They were going to make at all their favorite stores. Right. Now, a nice point to make here is you'll see here I have, my wife has $119 in cash back. You don't have to have $300 or $1,000 in cash back. But I also would suggest you don't have $2.18. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I want it to be a viable amount of money. I usually, if it gets up over 150, we'll spend it down to like 75, and then I'll build it back up. I like it to be between 75 and 150, just to get the person's attention. Because can you agree if you saw $100?
Oh,
it's intriguing.
Yeah.
So that's where I start there. So now I'll explain this. And now we'll jump into our portal tour. And I'll say, besides the fact that we're going to pay you, we're not naive at shop.com. People are creatures of habit. So what we want to do is explain why you would want to use our service over another service. Besides the fact that we're going to pay you, we have got some cutting edge technologies that nobody else can provide.
Okay.
So I'll explain how we have a unique strategic partnership with Microsoft, and we're developing a lot of this technology as we go forward. Now, as I go through this portal tour, I want to keep it simple again.
Yes.
I want it to be duplicatable. So I always like to start on the left-hand side and kind of read it like a book and go step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. And that's kind of what we want to do. So the new person can remember, oh, I start over here, I'm going to move to here, move to here, move to here, and come out. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I usually start with e-gifts and the gift center area, and I'll slide this up so people can see it. And most people are familiar with where this is. And the reason I want to start here is I want to talk about some of the unique technologies that we have at shop.com that are really revolutionizing shopping. So I'll start with e-gifts, and I like e-gifts because it gives me a chance to talk about some of this technology. You don't even have to click on it. I know I was talking to you earlier, you said, do you create an e-gift? You can if you want to, but I find it's not necessary.
Right.
Because remember, I'm not trying to get them as a customer. That's going to happen by accident. I'm going to show you how at the end. What I'm trying to do is get them to ask me that million-dollar question.
Right.
So I'll explain e-gifts and how it works. How we have the ability to let our customers, let's say you have an aunt who lives in California, and Aunt Mary's birthday's here, and you want to send Aunt Mary a gift. Traditionally, you would have to go buy something, package it up, ship it to California, and hope it makes her in one piece. Or maybe send her a gift card.
Hope it's the right color.
Hope it's the right size. Exactly right.
That she likes it.
Great point.
Yeah.
What we can do with electronic gifts and having all these stores on this one umbrella, we give our customers for free the ability to shop at any number of different stores, pick any number of different items. You could pick 15 or 20 items you think Aunt Mary might like, put it in what we call an electronic gift, email it to her, it shows up instantly, she opens it up, says, happy birthday Aunt Mary, wasn't sure exactly what to get you, but here's 15 or 20 items I thought you might like, click on the one that you like the best. She clicks, she doesn't see the price, all she sees is a picture and a description of the item. She clicks on the one she likes the best, that store drops, ships it to her in California, and bills your debit or credit card.
Perfect.
People love it, because, and I'll explain, it's a personalized gift-giving experience. You actually put some thought into it. Never had to leave your desktop or laptop to do it. And Aunt Mary, like you said, actually got something she wanted for a change, because we know your taste.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But then, see, now at this point, they're usually like, wow, that's really cool.
Right.
And what I'm trying to do here is just get their attention. That's why I start here.
Right.
And then I'll talk
But,
briefly.
and I see too, Carl, you don't want to go into really creating the whole e-gift, because now you're going to end up at 30, 40, 50 minutes if you try to take them through the whole process.
And Brian, it's not necessary, because what we're, again, and I'm glad you brought that up, we're not trying to get them as a customer tonight. What we're trying, that if when we're done, they're not interested in the business, we will then allow them to be a customer. And then if we want to go back and show them how to do all these cool things, we can do that.
Right.
But for this purpose tonight, we're using this as a recruiting tool.
Right.
And we're trying to get people interested in taking a look at the business.
So this is just a little taste of the technology.
Yes, exactly right.
Gotcha.
Exactly right.
Okay.
You're right on track. So now I will also just, at this same stop, just talk about gift registry maybe too, because that's another neat thing that we have, a unique cutting edge technology, I feel, where people in the future are going to be able to create gift registries for bridal showers, baby showers, picking from any number of different stores and putting them in one list where they're not limited to, you know, Bed Bath & Beyond or Walmart. They can choose Crate & Barrel, Bed Bath & Beyond, Linen, you know what I mean, anything they want to choose. So again, briefly explaining the technology.
Right. Okay.
We're
Keep
not
it brief.
We're going to keep it brief because we want to get through this quickly, because all we're trying to do is get them to ask us that question.
Okay.
And we're going to talk more about it.
All right.
I jump right from here up to the top, and I want to talk about comparison shopping.
Okay.
That's my second stop. Now, comparison shopping gives me a chance to talk about several things. It gives me a chance to talk about Price Alert and Shop Buddy all in one stop.
Okay.
So what I do here is I already know what I'm going to search for, and I've already researched it. And because, again, I'm not trying to trick someone, I'm just trying to show concepts here of where this is going and the technologies that we offer.
Right.
So in this case, I always like to choose a smart TV. So I'll type in Smart Out 50 TV. Now the reason I do this is it's going to come back to help me, because I'm trying to explain technology and the future of marketing. So Internet TV is a great spot for me to search for.
Right.
And if I say, let's say you're in the market for a new TV, most people won't say, no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They
would love it.
They would love it, exactly right. So I'll simply type in that and say, let's do a generic search for a smart TV. And I'll tell them, if you had the model number, we could pop that in there. But let's just see what pops up. Now I'll say, let's pick this TV right here. I already know I'm going to choose this TV because I already researched it. And what I'm trying to do is show a nice comparison. And that's all I'm going to do. So I'll say, let's say you want this TV, and I'll click on it. And I'll do it very nonchalantly. But I already knew I was going to pick that TV. Now I'll say as soon as you click enter, our service goes out and searches thousands of different stores under this umbrella of shop.com, finds the stores that have the best price, and then brings it back for you instantly. You don't have to go search at Tiger Direct, at Best Buy, at Walmart, at Target, or whatever.
Yeah.
We list them all for you. So let me ask you a question. Would you rather spend $16.99 or would you like to get the same TV for $999.97?
$9.99.
Everyone says the
Yeah.
same thing. And then I'll say, the beauty of this is we went out and compared all the prices for you, found you the best price, in this case at Tiger Direct, but on top of finding you that best price for $999.97, we're going to pay you an additional $30 in cash back for letting us find you the cheapest price.
Nice.
So that at this point, you've got their attention. And then I'll say, what do you think happens when all these retail stores realize we have this new technology where with one click of a button we can compare all their prices if they want to stay competitive? What happens to the price of everything?
Prices go down.
The price goes down. And again, they usually go like this,
Yeah.
and I've got them participating in the presentation. Psychologically now, they are agreeing with me. They're saying, wow, this is fantastic. And at this point, I'll say, the beauty of this is we don't make our money off the customers. We're making our money on the internet shopping through the advertisers and the retail stores we drive the traffic to. So again, I'll say, you save money and we make money. Now that's the first time I say that. And that's the magic sentence the phrase you want to say. So you save money and we make money. A lot of times they don't catch it that time, and you probably didn't, so that's okay. But a lot of
That can
times,
be a little thick sometimes.
that's okay. You'll get it soon. Now at this point, a lot of times I sign in as a distributor, and I'll see some people will catch the IBV there because I'm a distributor, so it shows the IBV. If they ask me what's IBV, I'll say, well, that's a commission structure we're paid on, so you're saving money and we're making money. And the way this works is the stores love this form of advertising because we drive the traffic to them. They don't have to pay us until after they sell the product. So they get 100% return on their advertising dollar, and then we share some of that back with the customer in the form of cash back. So it's a win-win-win situation. So again, you save money and we make money. And at that point, a lot of times they'll say, how do you make money off this? How does this work? That's the million-dollar question.
How does this work?
How does this work? Because at that point, they're basically asking to see the plan. But I won't answer. I'll say, well, it's affiliate marketing, but let me show you something else, and I kind of cut them off because it drives them crazy.
All
So there's
right.
a reason.
Keep them on the edge of their seat.
You've got it.
Yeah.
So now let's
All
say,
right.
let me show you something else. Let's say you want this TV, Brian, but you say $999 is still out of my budget. My budget for a TV was $800. That was the limit I was going to spend. We can go down here and click on this little technology, Set Price Alert, which nobody else has, where they can go on here and click in, notify me when the price is less than or equal to, you pick the price. I'll say $800, and I'll type it in there, and I'll say put in your email address, hit submit. Now every day for the next 60 days, we will search every store that carries that TV. When we find it for less than $800, we will send you an email alert notifying you that we found it at XYZ store. Would you like to buy it?
Nice.
Literally giving our customers for free a virtual personal shopper shopping for them 24 hours a day for any price they want to pay on any item.
Shopping without going shopping.
Exactly. You can use it for shoes, jewelry, clothing, electronics, anything. This is worth its weight in gold. So let's say, though, let's show them one more thing. Let's say now, if they wanted that at Tiger Direct, I might click on that and explain how this works. I'll say, you're not buying it from shop.com. You're going to buy it from Tiger Direct. And I might click on Tiger Direct quickly and just show them how they're being redirected. And this gives me the ability to do this also. First of all, it's nice to show free shipping,
Right.
so they can see, oh,
Yeah.
well, I don't even have to pay shipping. They're going to give me the best price and ship it for free. But also, look what else popped up.
Shop Buddy.
Shop Buddy pops up. And when I click on this, now I can explain that they can download this free service. And when they click on Shop Buddy, we give them every promo code out that this store has out every day, and we update it with over 12,000 every day, making sure they're getting the best price out there for anything they're looking for. Again, great service. And Shop Buddy at the end is going to come back to be our best friend, Brian. Because like I said, while I'm not trying to get them as a customer now, if they're not interested in the business, all I have to do is follow up with them, have them download Shop Buddy once, and he's going to do the work for me for forever.
Shop Buddy's there.
That's what it's going to do. So we'll talk more about that when we
right.
wrap it up. So now we jump out of that. The next stop is going to be our products. So I'll jump back here, and now I want to, the reason I didn't start with product brokerage is I wanted to get their attention a little bit about internet marketing, okay? But now I'll focus on product brokerage. And I'll explain how a very lucrative division of our company is our product brokerage. How we broker a unique line of products, and that was why I had you fill out this home shopping list.
Okay.
To show that you're already using 68 products, we can now offer a superior product at a wholesale price of these products you're already purchasing. And later on, if they are interested in the business, this will eliminate any concerns about transfer buy, because I've already shown them they're already using 68 products. Does that make sense?
Yes. Oh,
and
yeah.
it's a very powerful tool that some people are skipping. And now I'll usually quickly highlight a few products, depending on who I'm sitting with. One of my favorite ones now is the Lumiere de Vie line by Amber Ridinger. The reason I like this line so much, and I'll just click on it and show them briefly what it is, my wife's been in the beauty industry 25 years, and she will tell you this is the best product line she's come across in all her years in the beauty industry. It's not only revolutionizing, but it really is the next generation in skincare. It's a high-end skincare line at an affordable price, and she raves about this. And this is just a fantastic product line that we've gotten so much great feedback on. So I might highlight that, or I might talk about isotonics if you were interested in health and nutrition and vitamins and that sort of thing. But I would just pick a few products, maybe Motives Cosmetics, depending on who I'm sitting with. But I'd like to highlight the brokerage and explain how this is a very lucrative division of our company as well.
Right. Okay.
Just to put it out there, because that's going to come back when we show the plan. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
Now I quickly jump up to travel. And the reason I like travel is a lot of our appointments are booked by asking people, because you can ask people, do you shop online? And some people will say, not really.
Yeah.
But if you ask them, let me ask you a question. Do you ever shop online for things like airline tickets or hotel reservations?
Of course.
Of course they do, because
Yeah.
everyone does. So I book a lot of appointments that way. So I'll always click on travel, and I'll show them how we have Hotwire, Expedia, and all those services. But I'll show them how Travelocity came to us and created an exclusive shopping travel site called Shop Travel, powered by Travelocity. Same platform Travelocity uses, so they're all familiar with it already. But I'll explain how if they book package deals, vacations, and flight and hotel, they're automatically going to earn 2%. And on some of these package deals, I've researched through Shop Travel, some are as much as 20 and 30% cheaper, I found.
Wow.
Rental car companies are too. I love going through Shop Travel. It's just a fantastic deal. Why wouldn't you use it? Just another perk for our clients to use it. This point I'll say again, so you save money and we make money. At this point, they are dying to know how this works, and they ask,
how do you make money?
How do you make money? And I say, well, we're affiliate marketing, but let me show you something else. That's funny you did that, but that's kind of the reaction I'm hoping for. But I'll say, there's something else I want to show you. Now I'll quickly jump over here to the auction site.
Okay.
The reason I love this auction site so much is this is a very sticky site. This brings people that like this site coming back to check it out again. And I'll explain how this is different than a lot of those other auction sites. There's a million different auction sites out there. A lot of them are those penny bid sites where people have to pay to bid.
Right.
So I want to make sure I set this apart.
Okay.
And I'll explain the difference here is it's free for our customers to go and bid here. The only time they're going to pay is if they win the auction. And the nice thing is it doesn't matter if it's a $10 pair of earrings or a $700 iPad. Everything on here has to go start at $1.
Okay.
Basically, the manufacturer that are putting the items on here are rolling the dice that they're going to bid up.
Right.
So I might, depending on who I'm sitting with, I might pick jewelry and look at some earrings or rings or whatever it might be, just to give them an example of here's $129 for $1, $10, to show them that you're going to be able to get some great deals on here on that. The other thing I'll quickly jump on is travel. The reason I like the travel site is everybody wants to vacation these days.
Right.
But a lot of people can't afford to.
Yep.
Because of this economy. So I'll say, let's say you want to take a family vacation, because most people do want to take a vacation, they just can't afford to. I'll say, let's say you want to take your kids to, I don't know, Orlando. You can click on this vacation package, and you can now show them how they can go on here and bid on this $2,290 one-bedroom, 7-night stay at Leaky Tiki Village right outside of Orlando. $2,000 package. The current bid's $91. This has got 1 hour left. Someone's going to get that for less than $125.
Wow.
So they can basically take a family vacation for less than the cost of one night. They're going to get a week's stay down in Orlando. Again, just a perk. We're showing them how they can use this. And at this point, I'll usually turn around and say, So our customers save money and we make money. And the reason I turn it around there is you're already thinking, how does this work? And you're saying, this is amazing. How you own this site? How does this work? And I'll say, well, let me show you one more thing.
Okay.
No, just joking. But I'm trying to keep it brief. Just, again, this has changed recently because we've got a lot of cool new things on here. We've got the new daily deals site. You might want to hit on that briefly. Shop.com Direct, what just went live. I love this. Just another way to drive our IBV up with Shop.com Direct. Great deals on things.
We're all shopping annuity.
You've got it. That's the whole idea. Shopping annuity, and I want them to understand some of these things. I just don't want to try and show them everything.
Right.
Because that's probably enough at this point. I might click on the daily deals just because I like it, where they can get some great deals, one day only deal. And a lot of these are 75, 80% off. Here's a deal for some watches, $295 watch for $79, 73% off.
Yes.
And you can click on these things. It just depends on, you want to keep it to 15 or 20 minutes.
Right.
So at this point, I've got your attention. You're asking me, how does this work? How does this all work? Basically what you're asking me when you say how does this work is you're asking to see the business plan.
Right.
The difference is I didn't drag you to an HBP or a UBP. I just sat down to show you how to shop and save some money or look at a business opportunity about internet marketing. You already see the value in the service as a customer. So once you see the value as a customer, you're thinking, why would I not want to own my own site? So at this point, I can either pull out my flip chart. If I'm not comfortable, if I'm a new distributor and I'm not comfortable showing that, I can simply play that 23-minute video.
Yep.
Or I could simply book you into a home business presentation or unfranchised business presentation to show the plan.
Might depend if the person has more time available too.
Exactly right. And I just want to point one more thing out. I would never, ever, ever, I should have said this in the beginning, do this alone if I don't have to. I would always bring a partner or a friend or someone with me to sit down and show this to you. I should have pointed that out in the beginning, and I just thought of it. Because it changes the the energy level at the table. If there's three of us, we're all going to get excited looking at this.
Okay.
If it's just me and you, we're more reserved. I've just found it always works better to bring a partner.
Okay.
And if you were my new distributor, I would want to bring you with me anyways to teach you how to do this.
Sure.
by
A good
watching.
learning experience.
Exactly right.
Yep.
So we always do it as a team, and it works better. And
Right.
it's always just more fun. We all get excited when we're showing it, and it's exciting stuff.
Okay.
So again, these are the best tools out there. So we show them this, and at this point, I'll just explain a little bit about the future of marketing. And I'll explain how, and the reason I do this is sometimes if you sit down with baby boomer generation and you say everything's going online, they cringe a little bit, and they're like, I know, they don't want to think about it. But I have to explain, love it or hate it, you're not going to stop it. What we've got is the ability for the average person to tap into this multi-trillion-dollar industry. I think it's $250 billion that's generated online. Going to be $1 trillion soon.
Right.
This is we're not going to do less online next year than we do this year.
No.
So we've got the ability to show them, and at this point, the person you're sitting with sees how they could do it too, because they just saw how simple that was. So now they're asking to see the plan, which changes everything, because now when they sit down to see our fantastic business model, it's their idea, not yours. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, the prospect is much more interested when it's their idea.
Totally.
I'll always want to try to turn it that way.
And that's exactly what we're trying to do here. And then I just wrap it up. I'm either showing them the plan or I'm booking them into the next step. The point here was just to get them to ask us that $1 million question, which was, how does this work?
Okay.
Because then they're asking to see the plan, but it's their idea, not my idea. And that's what we've done for the last year throughout my group. And I was sharing with you earlier, in the last 11 weeks, a small select group I've been working with, we've added 86 new partners.
Wow. Did you catch that? 86 partners in 11 weeks using this format. That's amazing, Carl.
It's worked fantastic for us, and that's why we wanted to share it with everyone so that everyone can benefit from using what I think is the easiest recruiting tool out there. And then, I just wanted to follow up, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. If they don't ask about the business, and what they've done is...
That was the question I was going to ask. What happens if they never ask the $1 million question?
They just disqualified themselves. They're probably not the right person.
Okay.
So at that point, I'm simply going to send them a follow-up email and say, I'm going to call you when you get home. I'm going to have them log on, and I'm just going to make sure they download Shop Buddy on their computer, which is going to remind them to click to get the cash back, and I'll have them do it on all their computers in their house. 2 seconds, that's going to do the work for me.
Ah.
Then if all they have to do then is shop and buy the things they were going to buy anyways. If it's a partner store of ours, Shop Buddy pops up, reminds them to get the cash back.
Right.
You get the IBV, they get the cash back. We still win. That's the beauty behind this concept.
So as you said, the whole idea here is to gain a business partner or a customer by accident.
Either way, we're going to
Right.
win. That's
So
the
either
beauty
way you win.
behind it. And the point behind this too was anybody can do this.
Right.
You don't have to be the big businessman that's talking about expanding a multi-billion or a multi-million-dollar business in the area. You could sit down with your neighbor and say, let me show you how to save a few dollars on your office supplies on my website I told you about. It's free, it won't cost you anything. Let's have a cup of coffee and I'll show you. During the process of this cup of coffee and you showing them how to save money, they're going to ask you about the business.
Right.
And this is how it changed everything for us.
Perfect, that's great. So let me try to sum up. I was taking some notes here while we were going along. You kind of pointed out 5 things that you use on the site, and 5 is a good number to kind of keep it simple. Try to keep it in that 20-minute range, correct?
Yes.
And the 5 things that I had were e-gift, comparison shopping, and you kind of hit on the price alert at the same time, and Shop Buddy at the same time.
Exactly right.
That we're a product brokerage, so you talk about 1, maybe
Highlight
2
our
of our
products.
MA exclusive products.
Whatever you're comfortable
Yep,
with.
whichever ones you like the most. You talk about MA Travel, Travelocity.
Correct.
Or Shop Travel, I should say. And the final thing is the auction site.
And you can wrap in the auction daily deals and the shop.com
Daily.
direct now because I love
Because
those. I love
everybody
those.
wants a great deal.
That's
I mean,
what it's
that's
all
what
about.
internet shopping really comes down to. Everybody's
Yeah.
looking for a great deal. All right, excellent, great. Well, I see we've had a few questions come in here through the chat on Meet On, so I want to address a couple of those right now. If anybody else has some questions, we've got a few minutes before we're going to shut down. You can put those in on the questions section right now. The first one I want to address that came through a couple of times, yes, this session is being recorded. It'll take a couple of days to process out the video. I would hope that it would be available maybe on Thursday this week. We do have a holiday weekend coming up, so it might be early next week, but it will be available on on Meet On. The second question, Carl, was about your meeting script, where people can get a printed copy of that. Again, this will be available in the next day or 2 on unfranchisedtraining.com. So you can go to Unfranchised Training and be able to download this script. Again, remember, this is a script Carl put together that works very good for him. It doesn't mean you have to follow it word for word, but it's a great guideline for you to be comfortable in booking people into doing one of these portal tour prospectings.
It is. And the idea here again is learn the terminology and understand the psychology behind it. So, sometimes people get caught up in trying to show the shopping and get them as a customer and you can't possibly show them how to use everything. They won't remember it. You have to go into it with the concept of you're not trying to get them as a customer, you're trying to get them as a potential business partner because they're going to benefit. And I call it the $1 million question for a reason, Brian. It can potentially make you $1 million as the distributor showing it, but more importantly, it can potentially make that person you're sitting with $1 million.
Right.
Because this is a powerful business model. It's the most powerful, beautiful, perfect business model I've ever come across, and I've been in business most of my life, run our own businesses. And what we're doing with Shop.com, we've just scratched the surface. I mean, a lot of this technology, we're not the cutting edge, we're the tip of the knife, and that's how I explain it to people. It gets better and better. In the last 2 weeks, it's gotten so much. We've launched all this new stuff. It's mind-boggling where this is going. And I always say, don't get hung up on the little things if there's certain things you don't like, because these things, we're developing a lot of this technology as we go. And it's absolutely fantastic what we have here. We've got the best thing out there. People need to learn how to expose it properly to get more people interested in owning their own site.
Absolutely.
And that's really what it's all about.
Terrific. Another question that I just saw pop up has to do with Shop Buddy, saying it doesn't work on an iPad. Well, just to address that very quickly, it doesn't work with the Safari browser, but there is a workaround for that. You can download the Firefox app for your iPad or your iPod, whatever you may be using, and or your MacBook, whatever. And then when you open the Firefox browser, you can download Shop Buddy into that. So you can get Shop Buddy working on your Apple products.
That's a great
And
question.
you've had the same thing
That
come up
comes
as well?
That comes up at every UMO, and we've talked to the guys at shop.com, and I know they're aware of that.
Yeah.
And it's Safari is very difficult browser to work with, so they're trying to work that out. But there are ways to get around it and make it work on an Apple product.
I also saw somebody posted that it works with the Google Chrome app as well.
There you go.
So there are some options with that. Let me see.
And again, it's about educating yourself. And we have a lot of Facebook, we use Facebook groups to ask questions, and a lot of times you'll get an answer in 2 seconds by posting on. Big Al has a great one we post on. You can ask a question on that, and you would get that. Someone can show you how to do that in a split second.
Exactly. All right, the home shopping list. Where can I find the home shopping list?
You purchase those in your back office out of ordering products. That's
Right.
where you get these.
Yep.
There isn't a digital one, obviously, because it's a people always say, can you print out digital? It's a carbon copy, so
Right.
it's impossible to do digitally. So.
Right.
But this is the best investment in your business. When we run a fast track team or like our 6-week fast track I was just explaining to you, we require everyone to buy 2 packs of these because they're that valuable. This is why we've added 86 partners in 11 weeks, because we use these tools and we invest in our business, and it's a very small investment for huge payoff.
Right. And somebody posted here too that the code for the home shopping list is 671. So there you go. Thank you people online for helping us out there. Thank you very much. One other thing, just to speak to the home shopping list, I know we are working on some sort of an online version of that. Be almost like a blueprint of walking through your house and picking products out. But it really wouldn't work in a setting like this. It'd be much more valuable to have the printed version, wouldn't it?
For what we're talking about here, the printed version is the only way to go.
Right.
Because we're trying to show how they can convert the products they've already purchased. The home assessment is geared more towards a distributor where they would go around and check off the things in their house. So instead of buying soft soap, they could use our all-purpose natural cleaner and snap product and dilute it and put it in their soft soap dispenser and wash their hands. It smells great. It smells like almonds. There's lots of ways we can replace our products around our house by using that home assessment, which is a fantastic tool that's already in your new Getting Started guide. And that's another thing, we're not a training of it. The new Getting Started guide is a great place to start. Everyone should print that out and fill out a new one, because there's a lot of new information in it.
Right. So just to reiterate, in case somebody came in late, when Carl was getting started with the whole prospecting tour, or the portal tour, the reason he uses the home shopping list at the beginning, he tells the people that we are an internet brokerage company.
Absolutely.
And we're using this to gain information about shoppers.
Yep.
And so while he's getting his computer set up, he'll hand the prospect the home shopping list to have them fill it out while he's getting his computer set up, so that later on when he talks about our brokerage products, he's able to show them, look how many products you use that could be replaced by products that are exclusive to our company, and buy them at wholesale.
The average person you're sitting with will use 57 products they could buy from our brokerage division.
57.
And the reason I do this is I know at the end of this meeting they're going to ask about the business plan. Now, as I go through the business plan, when I get to transfer buying, and we were talking about this earlier, sometimes people don't understand the transfer buying. I'm like, listen, the transfer buying is what you already showed me. We already filled this out. You already buy 57 products. Right. You're now going to get a superior product at a wholesale price. These are not Me Too products. These are exclusive, like that Lumiere DeVie. This is the best product on the market right now as far as we're concerned. You can now buy that at what we consider a wholesale price, where you could get it anywhere else.
Right.
So that's why this is a very, very powerful tool to help, because what we're trying to do is create that shopping annuity, getting the distributors to buy from themselves, especially through our brokerage division. That's the whole point.
Yep. So it kind of saves that step when you're bringing the new person,
Absolutely.
when you're registering, and they may balk a little bit at transfer buy.
There's no balking.
You can show them, oh, you already showed me all these products.
They already have a list of products they want, and that's the beauty
Exactly.
of it. And that's why that tool,
Built-in
this tool is
shopping
not
list.
utilized enough. It's worth its weight in gold.
All right, excellent. Well, we're just about out of time here tonight. We're due to wrap up at 9:45, and we're getting close to that. The last thing that I will iterate here, I know we couldn't possibly get to all the questions that were coming in. If you have a question that we didn't answer tonight, You can email me directly at the corporation, and Carl and I will be able to get back to you. My email is Brian C, BRIANC @marketamerica.com. Feel free to email me at any time, and we'll bring Carl in if we need to get the right answer. But any last words, Carl?
No, I just want to thank you for the opportunity. I hope people can master this. If you do, you will see the same results we've seen in our group. It has been astronomical. We've been growing like crazy. I honestly believe it is the easiest way to get people in front of the business plan, which is what it's geared towards.
Well, I know as a fairly new distributor myself, I've learned a lot from Carl, and I know I'm going to be going out and applying these same methods as I start building my business to director and above.
That's what I like to hear.
So thank you very much, Carl.
Thank
Thank you,
everybody
everybody
for
on Meet On. Have a good evening.